This week on Channel 8 News, we officially welcome Dr. Lance Tatum to the Northwest community. We have the conclusions of the men's basketball team at the NCAA tournament and more. Your Channel 8 News starts right now.
Thanks for tuning in to Channel 8 News, the show where we provide the latest news and sports coverage on the Northwest Missouri State University campus and in the Maryville community. I'm Kirsten Stokes.
And I'm Alexis Kuhnert. Before we get into this week's stories, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for all the latest news and updates.
A Northwest sophomore and Sigma Tau Gamma fraternity member is in serious condition after a multi-vehicle crash. Earlier this month, 20-year-old Blake Ommen of Parkville was driving home for spring break in his 2014 Ford Focus when the wreck occurred on I-29 in Buchanan County.
According to the Missouri State Highway Patrol, vehicles were stopped on I-29 due to slow traffic in a work zone. Another vehicle failed to stop for the traffic congestion, crashing into the rear of the Focus, causing a chain of reaction of cars crashing into each other.
Ommen was taken to Mosaic Life Care but was then transferred to KU Medical Center in Kansas City. Ommen is currently in the ICU with a head injury. A GoFundMe page was created to raise money for the Ommen family to cover their medical expenses.
And in other news, a news conference was held last week to welcome Dr. Lance Tatum to the community.
The Board of Regents introduced Dr. Lance Tatum as the 11th president of the Northwest Missouri State University. As the board introduced Tatum, he was able to make a few remarks about his future at the university and why this job is a pivotal moment in his life and career.
I can tell you it's a positive sign when you leave an interview wanting the job more than you did when you arrived. And that was certainly true for Jill and I in our visit to Maryville.
Along with this, Tatum focused on his respect for the Board of Regents and their help in assisting him in this process. The current Senior Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs at Troy University was selected by 15 members of different stakeholder groups and was chosen amongst 4 other candidates in the running.
At the end of the event, students and faculty were able to ask questions to the board and Tatum about his plans and hopes for Northwest Missouri State. Tatum, joined by his wife Jill, will begin his tenure at Northwest on June 1st.
In his first 100 days, he hopes to focus on admissions, connecting with students, and building a trusted relationship with stakeholders. I also interviewed Interim President Clarence Green and spoke with the Board of Regents Chair John Moore about their experiences in this process and the board-to-president relationship.
What has your year kind of been like as the interim president for Northwest?
Well, it's been some of everything. Probably every emotion has been felt. It's been really fun and humbling in the largest way, you know, being a graduate of Northwest Missouri, it just really is special to have the responsibility and trusted in me. But it's been a very busy year doing things that I've never done before. And so those have been very challenging, such as fundraising has been a new area that I have never participated in, and as well as just representing and setting the agenda for the entire organization. It's kind of neat, and it offers a lot of opportunity to really make sure other voices are brought to the table, are heard.
I was able to talk to John a little bit yesterday on the board. Kind of just tell me your experience with your connection with the board and like their help kind of with that transition and what that's been like.
That's been tremendous. I think, John Moore is a true visionary who really thinks big. And I think he really values having inclusive voices, diversity. I think all of that really matters to him, but because he made it a point that he did not mind Clarence really getting in the way of things. And he's always told me, just be me. And so I think that has been very beneficial for me in this role. I never thought about being the long-term person, really.
Yeah.
And I was very comfortable from the start with filling the gap to get us to a point where we can select a leader that truly move the organization forward. And I really believe we're going to be off to a great start with the leader we've chosen. I think Dr. Lance Tatum is an extraordinary individual who has a deep knowledge of enrollment, academics, fundraising. I think he's going to do a tremendous job. And I think that was my role, was to really put the institution just in a place to where it was ready for the transition that we're going to go through next. And I'm just really proud of everything that everybody's done, and really proud of how the students, the faculty, and the staff all really entrusted in me with the responsibility to lead the organization.
In this process, when was the moment when you knew, or just kind of just the Board of Regents in general knew that Lance was the guy for the job?
I had him ranked first after his day on campus. I also had him ranked as one of 3 people that I would be happy to have as our president. And so in the event that others felt more strongly about candidate B or candidate C, I would have been happy with that as well. But to me, Lance kind of stood out a little bit from the others.
What expectations do you have for Lance in his first 100 days as president?
We're going to set up a number of opportunities for him to interact with people. If we can, at the end of whether it's 100 days or the end of the first semester, the fall semester, whatever, the right time frame is, if we can have people saying, yeah, I've met him, he seems very authentic, he seems smart, he seems like somebody that really cares about us and cares about our school, that's what I would be looking for, probably as much as anything else.
I believe a lot in character, in recruiting all these years. His genuineness, there was just no doubt when you talk to him that what you see is what you get. And then in talking with some people that had worked with him, they said the same thing. And so it just kind of resonated with what I felt personally, and I think really our whole committee felt that way.
For more information about Tatum and the presidential search process, you can watch past episodes of Channel 8 News or click on the links in the description below.
And finally, One Northwest sorority hosted their annual Memorial Week event to honor one of their members who died in 1995. Here's Riley Westphahl with the story.
Northwest Tri Sigma sorority honored Karen Hawkins, a Maryville local and Tri Sigma sorority member who was sexually assaulted and killed in the spring of 1995. Nottoway County Sheriff Randy Strong started the Memorial Week off with a presentation, and the following Wednesday, the University Police Department offered a self-defense class to any interested Tri Sigma members. I spoke with UPD Officer Wesley Bertha to understand more about why he believes it's important for students to get involved with classes like these.
I think it's really important because I think mostly it gives confidence to people. I've been doing martial arts for like 23, so like 20 years now, which is kind of crazy, but it gave me confidence. Even if it's something, I was like 6 years old, I couldn't really defend myself against a grown man, but it gave me confidence enough to carry myself. And the more techniques that you learn, the better you get at them, the better you are of defending yourself. So. Yeah.
Bertha also explained what goes on during these classes and what skills students can expect to learn from them.
So usually it's like we'll just go over general self-defense stuff. So we'll talk about stance, talk about situational awareness, like being aware of your surroundings, knowing what's going on around you. Talk about different strikes, different defenses to get out of those positions and to put yourself in better positions.
Karen Hawkins Memorial Week concluded on Thursday with a silent walk from the bell tower to Colden Pond to honor Hawkins and raise awareness about the negative effects caused by sexual assault. For more information or to make a report, you can contact the University Police Department at police@northwestmissouri.edu. For the stories that matter to you, I'm Riley Westphahl with Channel 8 News.
Thanks, Riley. When we return, we'll be kicking it over to Bearcat Update with Skyler Stamps. He'll look at the conclusion of the men's basketball season, some upcoming sporting events, and more. You're watching Channel 8 News on KNWT.
Welcome back to Bearcat Update, the show for all things Bearcat sports. I'm your host, Skyler Stamps. The Bearcats hosted the NCAA Division II Central Region Tournament this past week. After defeating Southern Arkansas, the Bearcats faced Southern Nazarene in the semifinals. Here's the highlights. The Northwest Missouri State men's basketball team has won the past 3 NCAA Division II national championship titles. The only thing standing between the Bearcats and a 4th straight title was the Central Region Tournament hosted by Northwest. The Bearcats were able to get past Southern Arkansas in the first round 94-69, setting up a matchup between the number 1 Bearcats and the 5th-seeded Crimson Storm from Southern Nazarene. Let's get into the highlights. This semifinal game was full of action. Both teams were struggling to find offense in the opening minutes, but Bennett Sturts would lay it in to get the Bearcats on the board. On the next possession, Sturts would drive and kick out to the corner for Daniel Abreu, where he buried the 3. The Bearcats extended their lead 22-14 before a quick 2 from Mo Wilson and this triple from Tyler McGuy to cut the lead to 3. With 38 seconds before half, Luke Waters nails the 3 for the Bearcats, where they took a 32-25 lead into the half. The Bearcats and Crimson Storm traded buckets throughout the first 10 minutes of the second half before the Bearcats saw their lead disappear. Javon Jackson drills the 3 from the top of the key to take the lead 44-42. Fast forward to the end of the game, 41 seconds remaining and the Bearcats down 3. Bennett Sturts would shot fake, drive, and kick out to West Reamer, who ties the game with a 3 at 57 apiece. With 14 seconds remaining, still tied at 57, Jackson would knock down the go-ahead basket for the Crimson Storm to silence Bearcat Arena. Diego Bernard would get fouled with a chance to tie the game at the line with 5 seconds remaining in the game. Bernard would miss the front end of the 1-and-1, forcing the Bearcats to foul. On the inbound after the foul, West Reamer tips the ball, gets possession, and ties up the game with a bucket. But the official said when he dribbled, it was on the baseline, erasing the basket for the Bearcats. The Bearcat coaching staff and bench were not happy with what they thought could have been a 5-second call. On the next inbound, keep an eye on number 22 Jackson and Diego Bernard for the Bearcats. Coach McCollum and crew thought an offensive foul was missed there as well. Southern Nazarene would convert on 2 free throws, extending their lead to 4 as West Reamer's 3-point attempt at the buzzer was short, and the Crimson Storm pull off the shocking upset over the Bearcats 61-57. The Bearcats ended their season with a 31-3 overall record while winning the regular season and tournament championship in the MIAA. The Bearcats say goodbye to seniors Diego Bernard and Luke Waters. Thank you for everything you have done as a Bearcat. Congratulations on another successful basketball season. It's not the way anyone wanted the season to end, but the Bearcats have already gotten good news for next season. West Reamer announced via his Twitter on Thursday that he would use his final year of eligibility and return to play for the Bearcats. Also following the loss to Southern Nazarene, head coach Ben McCollum said, quote, "The last time we lost this early, we went 38-0 the next year." I'd also like to congratulate KNWT on live streaming the NCAA tournament. Over 122,000 viewers watched our live stream across 3 days. Thank you everyone for their hard work. Though basketball season has come to an end, the Bearcat baseball and softball teams are ramping up with conference play. The baseball and softball teams will take the field at home this afternoon. You'll have other opportunities to watch the softball team as they are also at home this weekend. And finally, my MIAA championship story won first place in the nation with the Associated Collegiate Press. Out of every division in the country, my video won Best Sports Broadcast Story. Thank you for everyone's support. That's all the time we have for Bearcat Update. Be sure to tune in next time to stay connected to all things Bearcat sports. When we come back, we'll look at some business news within the city of Maryville, St. Patrick's Day celebrations, and more. You're watching Channel 8 News on KNWT.
Kirsten, what are you doing here?
What do you think I'm doing here? Making TikToks? And it's not about what I do. It's about what we do here. So we start with storyboarding the content we want to create for our clients. It could be anyone from small businesses, nonprofits, and organizations both on campus and in the Maryville community. We write, we film, we edit, we create, and then we wait. So if you're someone who thinks you need us, we are KNWT Creative Services.
Oh, hi, I'm Jonas Pilot.
And I'm Garrett Bevins. We're the hosts of Gen 2, your favorite place for all things gaming and very tech related. But right now, we're kind of relaxing.
You can come relax with us and watch some games with us if you'd like.
Yeah, so come on over to Gen 2.
This is the life.
I know.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. I'm Kirsten Stokes.
And I'm Alexis Kuhnert.
In business news, the city of Maryville recently placed Proposition M on the April 4th General Municipal election. This ballot question asked voters if the city of Maryville should add a 3% sales tax on recreational, otherwise known as adult use marijuana.
The proposed sales tax would only apply to the retail purchase of recreational marijuana sold in Maryville. And according to the proposed, funds collected will go towards street maintenance work and public safety services, allowing some flexibility in the city's budget needs.
Once again, Maryville voters will vote on this matter on April 4th. However, the Greater Maryville Chamber of Commerce will host a spring forum at 7 p.m. on March 30th in the Maryville High School Performing Arts Center, in which City Manager Greg McDaniel will present information on this proposed sales tax.
Overall, Missouri voters approved of the sale of recreational marijuana at licensed facilities for personal use to those 21 years and older last November.
And in other news, as you may know, St. Patrick's Day was last weekend and the streets of Maryville were packed. People and businesses alike celebrated the occasion in green and held some St. Patrick's Day activities.
In fact, one sports bar here in Maryville continues to set an annual world record for the shortest St. Patrick's Day parade. Here's some of that coverage.
Nottoway County community members gathered at Bernie's Sports Bar on 3rd and North Market Streets for the 36th annual World's Shortest St. Patrick's Day Parade. The official length of this year's parade is 78 feet long, with the length decreasing by a foot every year. Maryville Middle School principal Kevin Pitts led this year's parade as the Grand Marshal. Local volunteers organized this parade with multiple organizations, businesses, and tractors driving through, including Bernie's owners Chris Burns and Mark Allen, and this year's parade queen.
Hi, I'm Tristynn Clark here with Channel 8 News. I'm here with Sydney Lau. Sydney Lau, why were you nominated for Queen today?
I actually went to Bernie's on Wednesday, and my coworker Aiden, he's like, "Hey, I just signed you up for the Queen contest." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Okay, are you proud to be named Queen today?
I am so proud. I love Bernie's. I am here way too often, actually, but it's super great, and the atmosphere is always so much fun. So yes, I am really proud.
What was your favorite part of the parade outside of being in it?
Honestly, just seeing everybody just immediately show up. When we turned around the corner, I had no idea there was going to be this many people here, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I also saw some of my guests at Applebee's today because I work there, and they're like, hi. So that was super cool.
Along with Lau, one of the attendees talked about some of her favorite moments from the parade.
Grace, what was your favorite part of the parade today?
Honestly, I love how the sprayers spray the green foam, and I knew the drivers, so it's pretty cool to see how they relate to like the community and spray the foam.
What is your favorite St. Patty's Day tradition?
I love how they flood the streets. It's kind of cool. Like the first year I came, I was not expecting it, and then, this year, like when the water's coming, you better get on the curb because you're gonna get soaked if you don't get on the curb.
For the stories that matter to you, this is Channel 8 News.
Well, that's all the time we have for Channel 8 News. Be sure to click on the links below to rewatch certain sections of our show, as well as some upcoming events here at Northwest.
We also want to hear from you, so leave a comment below on these stories, and be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for all the latest news and updates, as well as other content on our YouTube page at KNWT TV. For the stories that matter to you, this has been Channel 8 News. Thanks for watching.
Click on those two videos on the right to watch some of our other content as well as our past episodes.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell, and follow us on all of our platforms.
And if you have pictures or videos of some newsworthy events, please DM us on any of our platforms.